It's March of 2017. I'm visiting my grandma for the weekends, and me and my dad are out by this park that's near her apartment. But that's when this one thought hits me hard out of nowhere. I start thinking about death, like really thinking about it. I feel this sick, anxious pit drop to the bottom of my stomach. It felt so real, I actually got nauseous. We went back to my grandma's place. I sat down in her living room, and I just tried to explain to her what had gone through my head. She listened, gave me some feedback, although I don't remember really what she said, but I do remember this. From that point on, something in me shifted. That moment planted a fear, not just of dying, but living too close to the edge. Stepping outside of my comfort zone, taking risks. When I was 12, I went to an allergist who prescribed these weekly injections. And the chances of something going wrong, aka death, were 1 in 2.5 million. But I still said no. It was simply too much. It was too risky. On the car ride home from that appointment, I felt relieved. I remember I was eating a bag of Takis and just thinking to myself, thank God I don't have to deal with that. And that moment became my pattern. I stayed in my room, didn't do much, got into this weird little hobby called marker flipping, and that was it. Just me, school, marker flipping for years. At 15, things started to shift again. I sort of got more into sports, started hanging out more, doing wild shit with my friends, drinking, skating, and doing dumb teenage stuff. But underneath it all, I still had this fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of dying, fear of not knowing what's next. That fear hollowed me out. I lived in my own world. Safe, comfortable, but stuck. And I wasn't learning, I wasn't growing. And even now that fear still lingers, but way less compared to before. At 16, things got real. I threw myself into 2 brutal sports, started training hard, and I realized something. When you're out there sweating, competing, getting pushed past your limits, you don't have time to worry about the unknown. I couldn't control how I felt the day before the race. I couldn't control the pressure or how hard my coaches pushed me, but I could control how I responded. I could show up, I could push through, I could grow through the pain. I had to deal with jerks, with overly competitive people, with failure. Sometimes I lost my cool, sometimes I held it down. But I learned this: the only thing worth focusing on is what's in your control. You can either stay in your room, hide from life, and isolate yourself like I used to, or you can step out and fully live. Challenge yourself, put yourself in uncomfortable situations, grow through the pain. Because no matter how long or how short your time is left on this earth, you owe it to yourself to make the most of it. Tomorrow's never guaranteed, yesterday's done. This moment right now is all you have. And how you show up in this moment, that's what defines you. That's what builds your future. I could still be that scared, stuck kid who isolated himself because he feared death, but I'm not, because I took action. I focused on what was in my control. And once I did that, the thoughts that used to haunt me, the anxiety, the overthinking, the fear of death, they faded away. Because now I don't have time to fear what's out of my hands. I've got a purpose. I got things I need to do. And I know that if I keep walking this path, living with intention and going all in, I will make this life count 100%. So if you're watching this and you're in that place, maybe you're young, scared, overthinking, all that stuff, hear me out when I say this. It doesn't matter how long you're here for. What matters is how you spend the time you've got. Wake up and put in the work when no one else is. Do the hard shit, smile, be proud of yourself, leave a legacy. Take care of your body, your mind, because this 1 in 400 trillion opportunity of life only comes around once. Make the most of it. I hope this message helped you today, my friend. As always, keep putting in that work towards becoming at least 1% better each and every day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay grounded, my G. Woo!